So this is my raised bed garden over here, and we're just gonna go ahead and do some harvesting. It's been several days and I have not had a chance to get out here to do any weeding, and we've been getting a lot of monsoon rains, and yeah, it's just a hot mess, but that's okay because I've got a lot of stuff growing in here. Patty pan, or some people call them scallop squashes because the edges are scalloped. These are excellent in any sort of, I would say any sort of application that you're going to use any squash in the kitchen. They are absolutely wonderful. We even like them on top of pizza as a mozzarella substitute. They are really, really good. So here we are at this bed. This bed is quite the hodgepodge. Got a lot of stuff growing here. My sunflowers are looking a little worse for wear, but it's okay, they're sunflowers. The back side here, we have, thought I saw, yes, I did see. So this is an Armenian cucumber. Could I harvest it when it's a little bit bigger? I probably could. But I have a son who absolutely, oops, sorry about that. I have a son who absolutely loves cucumbers. Didn't realize he liked them this much until this year. So I am in the process of growing way more Armenian cucumbers. There's another squash. Let's go harvest him. Welcome back into my kitchen. I thought I would bring you guys with me today back into the kitchen from our harvest out in the garden. It's been probably about an hour since I did the harvest, and I thought that what I would do is bring you back in here and let you see just what exactly I do with the things that I harvest. Oftentimes as gardeners, we get really excited about putting things into the garden, but then when it comes to taking things out of the garden, it's kind of a question mark. You know, you can only do so much in your garden with certain things. And so sometimes you can run into like, I guess you could say like a little block or a roadblock of what to do with all of your harvest. So at this point in the video, I thought I would share with you what I actually do, because I still have my harvest here from this morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the patty pans, or the scalloped squash here, as a substitute for cheese. And I wanted you guys to see just what that actually looks like on a plate. And then I also wanted to show you some other things that I like to do with not just my patty pans, but also all of my squash, a different meal that I like to put together. So come with me. We're going to put together two different meals. One is for tonight, and the other is for the freezer. Let's get started. Okay, at this point, my house got really loud, so I decided to wait and while I was editing this and just do a voiceover. But into the skillet, I poured about 1/4 cup of olive oil. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of my homemade ghee. And let me know in the comments below if you'd like to know how to make ghee. It's very simple and I'd be happy to do a video. But I add the ghee because it adds just an extra dimension of flavor. Next up, I am chopping or slicing my patty pans to about a 1-inch thickness. And that's really important because when you're trying to use the patty pans as a substitute for cheese or a cheese slice, you need them kind of thicker, so that way it provides more of a thickness when you're eating, and more of a I don't want to say crunch, but you know, you'll taste it a lot better when you're eating it, especially for what I was making today, which is hamburgers. So into the skillet they all go, and I am keeping it very simple tonight, and I'm only using just a little bit of salt. That's it. And I'm going to let those sit in the skillet and let them cook for about 2 minutes on each side, 2 to 3 minutes each side, and then I will remove them from the heat and they should be done. Now, once I've removed those from the heat, I'm going to be using that same skillet with the same oil to make our second dish, and that is I'm going to be frying up some grass-fed, grass-finished beef, and I'm going to be mixing that in with the vegetables that we harvested this morning, as you can see. So I cook the beef first, and I just kind of chop it up, and I use my homegrown onions and homegrown garlic. That's it, and a little bit of salt. And then I chop up my vegetables and put them in there. This will be going into the freezer, and you can serve it at any time over a plate of rice. Now moving on to the dinner / lunch, and that is hamburgers. So I am taking, we like to mix our ketchup and mustard together to make one condiment. And I did not have the time today to make homemade buns, but that's just bread that we had made. And then there's the star of the show, that's the patty pans. That's what they look like. And then I'm topping that off with some homegrown tomatoes, fresh from the garden. So now you guys have gotten a chance to see what I do with my harvest. I'm hoping that this gives you just maybe some indication, or some, not indication, but ideas of things that you can do with your harvest, because for those of us that are in the Northern Hemisphere, we are dealing with probably a heavy amount of zucchini, squash, all of those good things coming out of the garden. And sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming as far as what all to do, what to cook, and how to handle your harvest. So hopefully this gives you an idea, something to try. And I hope that you guys find this meal flavorful. So that is it from all of us here, from my family to your family. We want to say happy homesteading. And until next time, stay safe out there.